This is a basic demonstration on how Raman amplification works on the DWDM network. In this scenario, I have the 6500 card types drawn out, but the concepts still apply to the Sienna core stream devices. As you can see here, circled in red, this is one node, and then the other side is another node, separated by 80 kilometers of fiber. I have drawn up the SRA and the XLA being a bidirectional amp and the SRA being the Raman amplification card. I have also drawn the amplifiers in respect to the direction that they are pumping towards. The pointy side is where it's pumping towards. So in this scenario, that one's pointing that way and this one is pointing this way. In this demonstration, we're going to be calculating the effects of Raman amplification across the span. In this scenario, this XLA amp is going to be pushing about 5 dB across the span. By the time it traverses the 80 kilometer fiber span and reaches the other port 8 at the other distant node, at this point we're going to go ahead and say that it was receiving at a neg 20 dB. By the time it receives there, a neg 20 dB is not a very favorable light level coming into a node. Due to the light level and the channels riding that light level might be highly degraded if not completely down. So in this scenario, we'd want to actually deploy a Raman amplifier. And as you can see here, we have one. So once we turn that Raman amplifier on, the Raman will actually transmit towards the received side of the span and intercept that neg 20 dB light level 10 to 15 kilometers from the node. Once it intercepts that light level coming in, it actually, through science and Raman scattering, actually assists and helps fight attenuation and increases the light level. Depending on the provision level of dB you're pumping out of your Raman amplifier, in this scenario, let's say we're pumping at 10, it'll actually intercept that neg 20 signal and assist it at 10 dB. So in this example, a neg 20 would turn into a neg 10. You just add the 10 dB to the neg 20 and that'll be your actual optical receive at your port 8. This is the basic demonstration on how Raman amplifiers affect the optical light level signal coming in from the span. Some things you have to worry about with Raman amplifiers is they're very sensitive class 0 lasers. Any reflection coming back into that transmitter will cause the Raman to either amp reduce or completely shut down and not operate, causing a span loss that is unwanted and could cause traffic degradation and outages. So in this scenario, we'll play out a reflection on the fiber optic span very close, within 10 to 15 kilometers of the Raman amplifier. Probably more than likely the reflection, if this occurs on the network, is more than likely within the facility of the node there. When your Raman amplifier transmits out, it'll see that fiber optic imperfection or air gap or fiber bend or some type of reflection, causing enough reflection to cause the amp, instead of pumping at dB in our last demonstration, to start pumping at 5 instead. So the amps are pretty smart when it comes to reflection. If it thinks if it's receiving too much reflection, it'll actually start to tone down or amp reduce. In certain scenarios, the high reflection might actually cause the ramp to completely turn off, and you will not be providing any Raman amplification towards the span. That could definitely cause your network to be down or your channels to be heavily degraded.